You're on Money FM 89.3. Welcome to Chasing Cars. I'm Claressa Monteiro. Today we have with us Hugues Fabre, head of East Asia Groupe PSA, calling in all the way from France to share with us about the DS Automobiles, a French brand born in Paris with a bold ambition to embody the French luxury savoir-faire in its cars. Exclusively distributed by Cycle and Carriage in Singapore, we have the DS7 Crossback, which has been the official French presidential car since 1968 and was, in fact, the presidential car for the inauguration of French President Emmanuel Macron in 2017. In other words, driving the DS7 Crossback is akin to driving your own distinctive piece of excellence. Hugues, welcome to the show. Could you tell us about the DS7? Now, the design of it is unique. It is beautiful. It's drawing from the Louvre, which is iconic French design. Tell us more.
Thank you, Claressa, for first inviting me to the show. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you and with your auditors. Yes, you mentioned that actually DS is a young brand. It's a brand that started in 2015 at the Geneva Motor Show, but with a big heritage. As you mentioned, it was a car of the president from the General de Gaulle, and more recently with the DS7 Crossback with Emmanuel Macron for the inauguration. You rightly mentioned that. And DS is a car with a great heritage, with a great personality, with a unique design. And you will have a number of design clues everywhere, from the front grille, with the wings, which are also inspired from the heritage of the classic DS from 1955. You will have a lot of design clues like the fish scale rear lights, which is unique design, parametric design, which is done thanks to laser robots. All these elements are really unique and inspired by Le Louvre. If you look at the Le Louvre pyramid, you will see these diamond shapes, this kind of diamond shape that we are actually using on our car, outside and inside the car. So that's something that makes the car a piece of art. We have a lot of inspiration, and our designers are really looking for not designing objects, but really designing experiences. And all through your experience with the car, you will have this chance to experience this unique driving experience.
Now, when people think of French design, they think innovative, they think beautiful, they think stylish. And to be honest, when I was test driving the DS7 Crossback, it is throughout the car. All the small touches, even places where people don't usually pay attention. There's something unique. There's something beautiful. There's something very French about it. So I'm wondering, with all this internal styling, external styling, it's all beautiful. It's all luxurious. What is your favorite design aspect of the DS7 Crossback?
There are many, of course. Let's go inside the car. When you go inside the car, the first thing you will see is the quality of the leather. And let me talk a bit of the story of the luxury of the leather. The leather, Napa leather, has been selected from a very special Bavarian area where the cattle are raised for the meat, but in very special condition. No barbed wire, no insect to damage the leather. For one car, you need 26 square meter of this quality leather, high quality leather. And maybe the most striking element about the leather is the watch strap of the seat. The watch strap design of the seat required 18 months of research with our saddlers, artisan saddlers, best artisan in France, who actually worked 18 months to develop this watch strap seat design with the leather. Why? Because it's only one piece of leather, and it's not multiple cut of pieces of leather put together. It's one leather part. And that's the real work of our artisans. And then the difficulty was to move from an artisan work, craftsman, to production. And that was really the big challenge. I really love this part. It's a really unique to DS, and it's something that makes DS absolutely unique. That's one element. Another element that I love to talk about is the guillochage façon clou de Paris. The guillochage is this very unique that was coming from Breguet watches at the time, that gives this small piece of metal a unique touch and feel. And this touch and feel, you don't even need to look at it to find it beautiful. You just by the touch feeling, it's something unique as well that contribute to the experience. And maybe the third one is a watch. We have been working together with a French watchmaker, luxury French maker BRM. We choose this one because it's a real craftsman passionate about watch that design for us, DS, a unique design watch, this BRM, with a nice cinematic. When you put the contact on, you just see the watch opening, and that's also part of the kind of unique refinement experience.
Okay, let's go back to the first thing you said, the leather. So you're
Yes.
saying that this leather that is throughout the car, and that surprised me because there is leather everywhere in the car. Places which would normally be plastic or something else is also leather.
Hmm.
And that really surprised me. But then you're talking about the seats. I thought it was some kind of a braiding on the seats, and you're saying it's a single piece.
Yes.
That's quite amazing. I never would have thought that. I mean, it's very comfortable and it's very beautiful, but I thought it was, several pieces braided together, sewn together. One single piece. That's quite impressive, I have to say. That's something that should be shouted out at the car showroom when they're showing new prospective buyers the car. That is amazing. It is really quite unique as well.
And craftsmanship is really at the heart of the DS brand. It's all about refinement and technology. DS, if you want to keep in mind, refinement and technology. We are collaborating with all the big houses of fashion in Paris. I cannot name them for obvious reasons, but we are collaborating with all these most famous maisons that allow us to develop some unique way of designing the interior of the car. Another example is the pearl stitching. The pearl stitching is this small pearls of stitch on the leather. You have that on the doors panels, for example, and that's also very new. You will never find this out in any other car on the market, and that's coming directly from the collaboration we have this haute couture maison of Paris.
I noticed the stitching, though. It is very unique and it is very eye-catching, and it is very fashionable. So I'm not surprised that it was a collaboration with a couture house, because that does appear in fashion on maybe very high-end handbags, for example. It is lovely and it's very unique. I like that. I do like the clock. As soon as you hit the start button, that clock that you're talking about, the BRM, comes up. It is a beautiful timepiece. It is all these unique touches that I found intriguing. So I sat in the car for maybe 5-10 minutes, just sort of looking and feeling and touching the car before I started driving it. So, you gave me a lot to look at. It is a very beautiful car. Now let's talk about some of that innovation and technology of the car as well. What can a prospective buyer expect in the sense of technology from this car?
I think the first thing the buyers and the drivers should think about is driving serenity. So we want our driver to feel in a very comfortable mood and secured mood, very safe environment. And for this, we are driving several millions of kilometers before getting the car onto the market. There is a lot of tests which are made to ensure that our driver feel this serenity element. And this is supported by technology. Of course, we have the multi-link suspension, which is a rear axle. I don't want to be too much technical for your auditors, but the rear axle multi-link allow us to have a very comfortable, while precise driving. And just a story, our test drivers are making many tests, driving 180 kilometers per hour on tracks, of course, and taking bends at this speed, but just not having the feeling of being too much stress on the wheel, just to do it in a very comfortable way. That's one example. Another example is all about also refinement and comfort in a way, which is this famous active scan suspension. This active scan suspension is very unique on the market. It's a system that allows to read the road in front of you. Okay, so camera is reading the road. There are 4 sensors and 5 accelerometers. Again, don't want to be too much technical, that analyze exactly what is going to happen and then sends information to a central unit that actually will send the information to the suspension, to the 4 suspension independently, and to make them firmer or softer and to ensure the maximum comfort while you are driving. So that's also something absolutely unique.
I did notice it. It was highlighted to me by the sales team when they delivered the DS7 to me, that there was this active scan suspension. So I was going on bumpy roads. I was actually driving a little too fast over speed humps, for example, and it is very consistently comfortable. And so I could say that as a driver, that active scan suspension works. It's very, very good. I liked it. I liked it. And I mean, the technical aspect of the design of it, maybe not a lot of people want to know about, but the end result is, as the driver, there's very little body roll. And it is a very comfortable ride for your passengers, which is the most important thing a driver wants to know.
Yes, absolutely right. And I was mentioning about Serenity, and we were mentioning before about the design of the headlamps and the rear lights, which are with some purpose as well. And it's back also to the heritage of the brand, of the classic DS of 1955, where we had these unique headlamps, which were following the road. When you were turning the wheel, the headlamps were turning as well. So we translated this into a 21st century technology, and that's absolutely also unique to DS. We have this adaptive system, which allow first to maximize the area of lighting, to make the area brighter at night. And we have a auto high beamer as well, of course. And we have 5 modes for the lamp. We have the parking mode, we have the city mode, we have the country mode, and we have the motorway mode. And it adapts to the situation. It adapts to the speed. It adapts to the brightness of the environment. It adapts to the weather condition as well. So you can have the optimum lighting in every circumstances. Okay, and again, when you have the sensors, so when you turn the wheel, you bend, you actually follow the road, and you always have the optimum lighting for you and for the driver, which is very safe. And it goes up to a distance on motorway of 500 meters of lighting. So it's really also something which comes from the heritage, but reinvented with 21st century technology. This is called the active LED.
This DS Active LED Vision is the swiveling headlights, right? When you turn on the car. The first time I saw that, it put a smile on my face, because it's not necessary for the lights to swivel, but it's nice. It's a little show.
Yeah, it's a little show when you it's a little show when you go into the car, yes, actually. And when you shut the door, actually, also, you have got this kind of dancing of the headlights. But the purpose, it gives the basis for the active LED lighting that allow again to optimize the visibility at night. And it adapts to the speed, it adapts to the weather condition, it adapts to the environment. Okay, and also that's something that gives a high sense of serenity for the driver and a high sense of safety, but also a very efficient lighting, probably the most efficient lighting on the market.
Okay, and that's good to know, because although in Singapore itself, we don't really have a problem with lighting. When we drive cross country into Malaysia, the roads are darker. So it's nice to know that you have that security of great headlights And that's important when you're driving long distances.
Absolutely. I was mentioning that on motorway, you can light up to more than 500 meters, which is very unique and with a very natural light on the road. So you really have a high degree of safety and comfort. And again, it's about serenity. It's all about serenity. You just, as a driver, you don't need to be annoyed by putting high beam, low beam, adapt the lightning or adapt your own eyes to the situation. The car will do it for yourself.
All right. Now tell us what the DS Connected Pilot is.
Well, DS Connected Pilot, it's a way towards the autonomous driving. It's what we call autonomous driving level 2. So which technically would allow you to put foot off the pedals and hands off the wheel. Of course, for a regulation purpose, you still need to keep the hand on the wheel. But technically, the car is able to drive itself on special conditions, particularly on motorways, where the car will actually brake and adapt the speed to the traffic, brake, but also keep the lane up to 180 kilometers per hour. The car can keep the lane and turn and straight and keep the lane exactly the way you do, probably better than you would do driving yourself, actually. For regulation purpose, you need to keep the hand on the wheel, that I was saying, but technically the car is going towards autonomous driving, so it's a level 2 autonomous driving. That's what Connected Pilot is about.
So if you are driving several hours nonstop, it gives you the opportunity to take a bit more of a break than just the older style of autopilot as we knew it, where you press a button and you can take your foot off the accelerator, but that's it. So this is a step forward. You can do a little bit more than just that. The car can keep in the lane, and ensure that traffic is a safe distance away. I like that. Not quite able to take a nap, but I like that.
Yeah, take a nap will be the next step, probably. But so far, you still need to pay some attention to what's going around. You need to pay some attention to what's going around. But at least, and believe me, when you drive a long distance, I had many opportunities, of course, to drive very long distance with the DS7 Crossback. You feel really, really relaxed after even 6, 7, 8 hours driving. You really feel more relaxed than with any other cars, just because you have this driving assistance that really help you to keep concentrated, of course, but at least you are released from the stress of taking the wheel and paying attention to everything. You can rely somehow to the car.
All right. Now, you are the expert. I'm going to ask you, for someone who is considering buying this car, they walk into the DS showroom, what do you think they should pay attention to most?
That's a tricky question because each customer, each individual has its own feeling about cars. So some will be very much inspired by the exterior design. Actually, exterior is the first thing you actually see of the car, and then you will concentrate on the front grille, on the wings. You will focus on the design of the headlamps, of the rear lamps. That's it. And then it's really about the interior. I mean, I really encourage your auditors to go into a showroom and to look at the interior of the car, to pay attention to all these details, the pearl stitching, the leather, the white strap leather, the guillochage from Clou de Paris, all these very unique elements that makes DS, the French car that embodies the French luxury savoir-faire, for sure. I really encourage your auditor to look at that details.
You know, everything about the experience is quite luxurious. So I want to be able to take this opportunity to tell our listeners that if you book a test drive, the test drive experience as well is pretty unique. There is a pickup delivery of your DS during your service bookings and things like that. So if you buy the car, they're taking care of you as well. And it is a 7-year warranty with our servicing and pickup delivery. So something else to consider if you want to buy the DS7 Crossback. Hugues, I have so many more questions. You know, with French cars, one of the things I think about is the colors. you give us exciting color choices that maybe other people don't think about. What is your favorite? What do you think is the perfect color for the DS7 Crossback?
I think actually it's a color, it's a unique color which is called gold Byzantine. The gold color is very unique, and why is this color unique, and why did we choose this color? This color is something that actually remind the color of Paris at night. And the color of Paris at night, when you look at the Eiffel Tower lightning, when you look at the Pyramid of the Louvre, all these lights are really close and very consistent with the gold Byzantine of the car. And that's not by chance that we actually chosen this car for being in the launch advertising of the car, which was all about the Paris at night, because we have to remind that DS is born in Paris. DS is born in Paris. The 1955 DS is born in Paris. It was designed in Paris. It was developed in Paris, and it was produced in Paris. So it's a true Parisian, let's say, brand to say.
She's
So Gold
Parisian.
Byzantine is the one. Gold Byzantine is definitely the one, which is closer to the DNA of DS.
So this is the color of the car on your brochure.
Yes, it is indeed. Yes.
It is actually a very beautiful color and very striking on the road, I have to say.
It is. It's a unique color. It's a unique color that best embody what DS7 Crossback stands for.
All right. We have been speaking to Hugues Fabre, Head of Product Planning, Southeast Asia, Groupe PSA. Thank you so much for this conversation. I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you, Claressa. Thank you very much again for giving me the chance to tell more about DS1 Crossback and DS to your auditors.
Absolutely our pleasure. This is Money FM 89.3.
Money FM 89.